Hello, everyone. Welcome along to this week's Golf Show. I'm here back with Simon Dyson once again, six-time European Tour winner, to look ahead to this week's golf, and it is a big week. Simon, welcome back. Of course, we missed out last week. You were sunning yourself away, so we didn't see too much of the golf. How was your break?
Yeah, lovely, thanks. Lovely. Just took my two girls away for 5 nights, so nice just to get away, recharge the batteries, and get back on it now.
Well, a quick look ahead, I should say a quick recap, first of all. Congratulations to Rasmus Højgaard, who won his third European Tour title, aged just 20 at the European Masters at Crans-sur-Sierre. And of course, to Patrick Cantlay last night, who battled past Bryson DeChambeau in a 6-hole playoff to win for the third time alone this year in the BMW Championship and go top of the FedEx standings. That's what it's all about this week. And I know you're a big fan of both, so even though you weren't here last week to preview the events, I think there's probably a chance you would have bet one of them.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of both. You know, we've watched his progression, Rasmus's, and, you know, for 20 years old, he's wise beyond his years. You know, it's his third win now. He's stepping up every time he plays. Every win is that little bit better. You know, the next thing for him will start to be contending in the majors on a regular occurrence. That'll be his goal, to get in that top 50. And, you know, everybody wants to get over to America. So I'm sure that'll be his main goal as well. And he'll be watching the tournament at Eastlake thinking, that's where I want to be. And he'll give himself maybe, 3 or 4 years to try and achieve that. But there's no reason why he can't.
Yeah, and Patrick Cantlay, really cool under pressure yesterday against Bryson DeChambeau. There was a bit of needle between them as well. I'm not sure that bodes well for the US team. Seems like everybody's falling out over there at the moment. But a great win for him, his third of the year too.
Great win. And you know what? It just shows that there was a playoff hole where Bryson literally drove it within 5 yards of the green. Patrick stuck to his game plan, hit iron off the tee, wedged it on, made his half, made his birdie, made his half, and then the 6th playoff hole stuck it in there close. So it just shows that if you stick to your game plan and you believe it's going to work, then there's no reason to change it because somebody else is doing something different. And, you know, a great example of that and great win. And like you said, you know, we've spoken a lot about him and how solid he is. Tee to green is exceptional, and he held the putts when he needed to.
Yeah, certainly did. Now he is in prime position for this week. So let's look ahead, shall we? First of all, to the PGA Tour, the finale of the Tour Championship, the final events of the FedEx playoffs, featuring only the top 30 in the standings. Now, 2 years ago, they changed the format to ensure the tournament winner also guaranteed to win the FedEx Cup. So there's now a starting scores system based on the player's position in the standings. So let me just quickly go through that. We've got the points leader currently going into the week, Patrick Cantlay. So he starts the tournament in the lead at 10 under par. Then it's Tony Finau, 2 shots back at 8 under. Bryson DeChambeau at 7 under. Jon Rahm at 6 under. Cameron Smith at 5 under. And then the rest get bunched all the way down to even par. So first of all, Simon, what do you make of this format?
Well, we spoke about it last year, didn't we? I'm not a fan. I've got to be honest. I'm really not. I think it should be even keel. Fair enough. Patrick's leading the Order of Merit. He's leading the FedEx, but he should really have to go and win the FedEx on an even keel to then win the whole thing. The fact he's got that, head start, I kind of think it's a little bit unfair. You know, there'll be a lot of people disagree with me and say, well, he's leading, he deserves that lead, but he's got the lead anyway. So if he plays like he did last week, he'll win it. I don't understand how the minds have come up with that one, if I'm honest, but it is what it is. And, you know, people accepted it and they get on with it.
It doesn't always work, though, does it, for the leader? I think Justin Thomas said that in particular a few years ago, that his mindset was different. He felt like he was defending rather than attacking from the off, and it didn't help him in the end.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. You know, when you know you've got someone to chase down, your game plan's a little bit different as opposed to, right, I'm already 2 shots ahead. You know, you're starting 10 under, you're kind of playing to conserve that. And, you know, your mindset, your game plan will be very different. So I believe they should literally just keep it as it is, let everybody start on levels and just battle it out. And whoever gets that 10 million at the end of the week, you know, deserves it, thoroughly deserves it, instead of them giving them that such big advantage.
I'm sure you'd rather be in his position, though, with a 2-shot lead, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you wouldn't mind, would you, to be honest? But you know, you look at the guys who are starting on level par. I mean, they're 10 shots behind already. And you look at the guys who are up there: Cantlay, Finau, Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm, Cameron Smith, Justin Thomas. These are world-class players. So one of them is going to go pretty low for the week. I mean, it's not a massively low-scoring course. You're normally mid-teens, low to mid-teens. So, but one of them is going to shoot that type of score. So the guys who are starting on level kind of have no chance. And it's a bit unfair for them. They're at 30th. You know, if they play well, they kind of deserve to have the chance to finish in the top 5. Whereas this format, I don't think allows them to do that.
Okay, we are betting on both of the events in terms of the event who has the lowest score of the 4 rounds and the starting scores event, which is the main event. That's the main betting market. So for the purposes of this, we are going to focus on that and include the starting scores. But before we get to your selection, Simon, let's just have a look at the course. It is East Lake in Atlanta, Georgia. We've been here since 2004 now, so got loads of form to go off. What are your thoughts of the track?
Yeah, it's a really good track. It's a long par 70, really long, 7,346 yards. That's a long course. Obviously, the weather's going to be nice. It's going to be flying. It's bouncing, but the rough's pretty thick. We've seen guys get in a bit of trouble when they go in the rough. Tee to green is the main focus this week. You know, and the scores show it, like we said. You know, guys are shooting 13, 14 under to win the tournament. Whereas when it's a low score and you're looking at early 20s winning tournaments. But looking at all the strokes gained throughout the last couple of years, the main emphasis has been tee to green. So you're looking for someone who is very consistent off the tee and in approach as well, gives themselves a lot of chances and takes a few of them.
Yes, it's an all-round test, isn't it? You've got to have all parts of your game on fire this week. So with that in mind, who are you going to go for?
I'm going to go with my old Spanish mate again, John Rahm. Again, big tournaments, big players. I believe, you know, again, we've seen it the last few weeks. The big players have stood up when they've needed to. You know, he's first in tee to green, he's 7th in approach, and he's 4th in the FedEx standings already. I just love everything about his game. I really do. And he's not afraid to go and win a tournament. And that's what you've got to do in a tournament like this. You've got to go and win it. No one's going to hand it to you. So you need someone who is a proven winner, who is going to step up, and he fits the bill perfectly.
Yeah, he's 4 shots back, isn't he? So in a decent position to try and attack the leader, Cantlay, from the off. And he's finished 6th and 7th here before, so he's got a bit of course form too.
He does. And like I said, you know, proven winner, major winner. He's just got every aspect to go and do. Every aspect of his game suits this type of tournament and course.
Okay, he's pretty short. So would that be win only for him?
Yeah. I'd say you'd have to go, if he's that short, you'd have to go just win only. You're not going to get a massive return on an each way with him.
Okay, how about one at the bigger price then each way?
Yeah, I'm going to go Justin Thomas. He's not going to be a massive price. He's 6th in the standings. But again, 3rd in tee to green, 3rd in approach, 114th on putting, which is the one thing that we all know how good a ball striker he is. He's one of the best. But when he gets that ball rolling, you know, he can shoot some ridiculously low scores, as can Rahm. And I think with him being so many shots back, he's going to need to get that putt working. But if he does, you know, you could see him shoot 63 first round and he's clawed all the shots back. So, and then it's on an even keel. 6th in the FedEx, you know, when you're top 10 in the FedEx going into the last round, you know you've had a really good season.
Yeah, he's 6 shots back, isn't he? And what we talked about earlier was the fact that he didn't like being in the lead. So this is probably a good position for him. And you look at his course form, I know there's only 30 players in the field, but he's always finishing in the top 10. So he does like the track as well.
He does. And I think it'll suit him being 6 shots back. He plays his best golf when he attacks. You know, you see him holing 8 irons, 9 irons. He's holing shots for fun, getting it close, rolling those putts in. And he's just he's kind of like a bit of a tamer Bryson. You know, he still steps on it, but he just loves attacking golf. And yeah, I think you summed it up. The fact that he's 6 behind will actually put him in better stead than him being 2 shots clear.
Okay, John Rahm and Justin Thomas for you then. Hopefully one of those will land both the Tour Championship and the FedEx Cup standings. And if they do so, that'd be a nice payday, wouldn't it, Simon?
Yeah, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it just? I mean, it's all to play for these guys this week. I mean, it's a huge, huge week. Life-changing sum of money for these guys. And, it's one of those. Whoever wins it thoroughly deserves it.
Do you think we'll see Patrick Reed turn up? Because he's been ill of late, but he's in the top 30. And I think if you finish 30th, you'll still get a lot of money. So do you think he might come from his sick bed and just turn up and then withdraw maybe?
It depends how sick he is. I mean, he's got pneumonia, hasn't he? So I remember when I had pneumonia and I literally couldn't get out of my bed, not even to, go to the toilet. So if he's got pneumonia like he says he has, then I don't think he'll step up.
He doesn't need the money anyway, does he? I think his main thought will be the Ryder Cup. Of course, if he misses out on that, that would be devastating for him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. He loves the Ryder Cup. Captain America. He's like their version of Ian Poulter, isn't he? Absolutely loves it. Loves riling the crowd up. Loves getting stuck into the opponents. So he'd love to play in that.
Okay, well, speaking of the Ryder Cup, that leads us nicely onto the European Tour event this week. It is the Italian Open, and they are using the venue for the Ryder Cup in 2 years' time. It's no longer a Rolex Series event, so it hasn't got the best field of the year on the European Tour, although it has attracted some players that missed out in the playoffs, the likes of Tommy Fleetwood and Francesco Molinari, and maybe their thoughts are ahead to 2 years' time and having an early look at the course. Fleetwood looks set for the team, I think, but Molinari probably needs a win or two to impress Padraig Harrington, Simon. It's really last chance saloon, isn't it, for these guys?
Yeah, it is. It is for this, for making that team. Molinari, he's kind of gone off the boil a bit, but this is absolutely made for him. Home venue, Ryder Cup venue in a couple of years, playing in front of the home crowd. The course requires a lot of strategic play. We don't know much about the course, but from what I've seen, getting it in the right position, there's nobody better at it than that when he's on. And it only needs that little change in mindset, a little bit of form, and we could see him go really low. He was actually one that I had a little question mark next to, who I was possibly going to pick, because we've seen it so many times. And his record in the Italian Open's really good. I know it hasn't been on this course, but he's won it. He's finished second back in 2018 and sixth in 2017. So he clearly likes playing in front of his home crowd. But yeah, it'd be nice to see him do really well though, as well.
Yeah, we're off to Rome this year at the Marco Simone Golf and Country Club. It's the first time this venue has been used since 1994, when it also hosted the Italian Open. I know you said strategy might be key. Just looking at, it's a par 71, isn't it? 7,268 yards. It's just really hard to know how they're going to set it up and how similar it will be this week to what we see in 2 years' time. Yeah,
it is hard to know. I think with the couple of years of growth, I think it'll be very different in the Ryder Cup. I think they'll set it up massively to favour the Europeans, so it will be more emphasis on finding fairways. I think they'll grow the rough up. We don't know how long the rough is this week, but if it is pretty long, you need someone who's a good driver of the ball. I'm really excited to see kind of how it is set up and how different it will be in 2 years. I think there'll be a big change, I think.
Okay, let's get to your selections then, or a selection, I think, because we spoke off air and you fancied one player in particular, didn't you?
Yeah, just the one. I mean, Molinari obviously ticked quite a few boxes, but I fancied Martin Kaymer this week. Great player. A couple of majors. We haven't seen him win for a while, but we talk about players reigniting their careers, and this would be a perfect opportunity for him. He finished top 18 last week. Pretty decent result, found a bit of form. He's done all right in this tournament in the last 9 years. And, he had a second a few months back. And like I said, it's just a perfect opportunity for him to he'll be looking at this thinking, right, how can I play my best golf around this course, thinking about 2 years' time? If I perform well around here, that'll put me in good stead for 2 years' time. Because when you've played a Ryder Cup, you always want to play another one. So he will be desperate to play another one, especially in Europe as well. So he'll be looking at this course going, right, what's my best strategy around here? How can I play the best golf? And hopefully it leads to bigger and better things for him making the team, because he is an asset. He's stone cold. He literally, pressure doesn't get to him, and he would be a great asset for the team, as we saw in Medina all those years back. But I really like watching Martin. He's world class, and I think a lot of people forget that.
Yeah, he's had a much better year, hasn't he? Quite a lot of runner-up finishes, not getting that win, all importantly, but it's been an improvement for him. And, well, you never know. He might think, if I can win here, maybe win at Wentworth, a big event on the European Tour, I might be able to sneak in, because after Wentworth, that's when Padraig Harrington makes his final pick. So he is on the team in terms of a vice-captain capacity, isn't he, for Whistling Straits, because, of course, that's where he won his major. But maybe in the back of his mind, he thinks, you never know, if I can get a couple of wins, that might force his hand.
Yeah, and I think he has to think that way. He has to win them. He has to win Wentworth, and he has to win Italy to make that team. Eduardo did it a few years ago when me and him were looking like possibly it was between me and him who got the pick, and he won the tournament. That was the last tournament to play in before Monty picked his team. So you've got to go and do it. So there's no other option, really. If he wants to make that team, he has to win those events.
Yeah, that was up in Scotland, wasn't it? Was it Glen Eagles?
It was, yeah. I think I finished third that week, but Eduardo won it. So Eduardo got the pick.
Yeah, couldn't do much more, could you?
No.
About that week. And it was an impressive performance. He was on a tear, wasn't he? He had a brilliant run of form going into that week. Okay, so just Martin Kaymer for you? Just
Martin I'm going with this week.
Okay, and again, speaking of the Ryder Cup, we must mention the Solheim Cup, which gets underway on Saturday. The female equivalent, of course, it's the 17th edition of the event. The USA are the clear favourites, but Europe have had some success over the years. They've won 3 of the last 5, actually, and I think everyone remembers, speaking of Glen Eagles, 2 years ago, and Suzanne Pettersson's winning putt on the 18th. That was a great spectacle, and hopefully something similar this weekend.
It was a great spectacle. It was. I mean, and she bowed out after that, and what a way to end a fantastic career. She's, I've had the pleasure of playing with Suzanne a couple of times over in China, and she is one hell of a player. She really is. And for me, it was always her mindset that separated her from everybody else. She just looked the true professional in every aspect. How she played, how she thought about the game, and how she trained. She just looked the complete player athlete, and she did have a fantastic career, and it was ended on a high like that. And I love watching it. I really do. I love watching the Solheim Cup. I think I went over to the Evian a couple of weeks ago, and some seriously good players, and they deserve the recognition that they're getting. Like the Corder sisters and Danielle Kang and Mel Reid and Georgina Hall. People like that. I mean, they're at the top of the game, and they are fantastic players. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching that.
Just a quick word on the course. We're at the Inverness Club in Ohio. It's a Donald Ross design. It's hosted quite a few majors, actually, 4 US Opens, a couple of PGAs, and also hosted the LPGA Drive-On Championship last year, won by the American Danielle Kang. We saw some quotes, didn't we, recently, Simon, from the superintendent, just suggesting that it might not be a US Open style test. It might be a bit more like a European test, a bit more links in with some wind as well.
Yeah, and a lot of undulation, a lot of shots, like high raised tees hitting down, and it's going to be firm and fast, they're saying. So, yeah, there's no reason to see why it can't favour the Europeans. You get a lot of courses that do. Normally they try and set them up to favour the home team, but there'll be a lot of the European players really looking forward to playing this course. But it's going to be a great spectacle for women's golf. It really is.
Yeah, the US are the favourites at 1-2. Europe are at around 2-1. The draw 12-1. Georgia Hall, the favourite for the Europeans to get the most points, and Nelly Korda, the favourite for the US. Any real thoughts on that one then? I mean, the US are going to be hard to beat, aren't they?
I think they've got it right with the two players, Georgina Hall and Nelly Korda. Nelly's probably the best player in the world at the minute. And Georgina Hall, fantastic golfer, major winner. We actually played a practice round with her a couple of weeks ago in the Evian, and she was seriously impressive. She really was. So it's no surprise. Very, very level-headed. Never gets flustered, just gets on with it, knows what she's good at, sticks to it, and it's the best way to be. So no surprise that they're the favourites for both teams.
Okay, should be a fantastic week, shouldn't it, of golf? That starts on Saturday, so we get a Monday finish for that next week, and I'm sure a lot of eyes will be on that. But as far as the selections are concerned, let's just recap. We've got the Tour Championship and the Italian Open, Simon.
Yeah, we've gone Jon Rahm, Justin Thomas and Martin Keimer.
Okay, best bet of those three?
It's got to be Mr. Rahm, hasn't it? It's got to be Mr. Rahm. He's stood me in good stead over the last 2 years as Jon Rahm. I've had a few wins from him, so let's see if we can get another. Okay,
fingers crossed. It's always a big spectacle as well, isn't it? The Tour Championship and all that money on the line. And well, he's had a great couple of years. He's been in top 10s, top 5s and plenty of wins. And you've been aboard, as you mentioned, a few times as well. So that would be great to see him go on. And a nice boost for the Europeans ahead of the Ryder Cup, because I had a look at the world rankings, Simon. I think the Americans have got 9 of the top 11 in the world rankings.
Yeah, that's scary. Really scary. But again, I've been fortunate to play Whistling Straits, and it does suit the European player. It really does. It's on the coast. I mean, it's obviously a lake, but Lake Michigan, but it's it can get windy. You've got to be able to play all the shots, and it can suit the Europeans. But I mean, you look at the world rankings, 9 of the top 11. It's going to be a tough one. But like you said, they're all falling out with each other. So no one will want to play with anyone.
Yeah, in particular, Bryson, we've seen that with Brooks Koepka. Bryson with Patrick Cantlay yesterday as well, telling him to stop walking when he was playing a shot. The handshake wasn't particularly great at the end either, was it? And
no.
Well, Koepka and Dustin Johnson fell out in Paris, didn't they, a few years ago? So yeah, they're going to maybe find it hard to find some pairings. And that's the real benefit of the European team, isn't it? Because it was similar in Paris. The USA had domination in terms of the world rankings, and I know the course definitely helped, but that team spirit is always better in the European side, and that might just win out in the end.
It is. I mean, it might have changed from me playing out there, but you see, the players in America always travel with the family, so they're always eating with the family. Whereas in Europe, they're always eating with the friends. So it's a lot more. It's a lot of I wouldn't say friendlier tour, but there's a bit more camaraderie. You have dinner and you get to know each other better, I think, playing in Europe than you do in America. You hardly ever see anybody in America. You only see them at the golf course. You never see them out for dinner. And again, in Europe, there's certain places where you'll go for dinner, so everybody will be in there. Whereas in America, there's that much choice. You never get seen in the same place as anybody else. So I always thought it was quite a lonely place, America. Whereas Europe's not. So that's where the camaraderie comes from, I think, more off the course than on it.
Cannot wait. We are just under a month, I think, away from the Ryder Cup getting underway. So we will have a big preview of that near at the time. Right. Simon, best of luck for this week. Good to have you back.
Yeah,
and thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hopefully you have a winner or two as well. Got 3 big events, haven't we? The Italian Open, the European Tour kicks things off. Then the Tour Championship again on Thursday on the PGA Tour. And then on Saturday, the Solheim Cup. So enjoy all the golf. Get to betfred.com for all the latest odds and offers. And best of luck for picking a winner. We'll see you soon.